Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Realm Live. Tonight, listen, we have some returning guests with us. They are filmmakers, writers, actors, and they're also married. They have an amazing movie that I had the pleasure to see after our first interview, which is called American Ripper, which you can find on Tubi and Amazon Prime right now. I have with us from Three Rats Entertainment, Chuck and Karolina.
All right.
Morrongiello. Guys, welcome back to the Horror Realm.
What's up, Travis? Good seeing you, brother.
Hey, Travis.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. So listen, tell my audience who hasn't had a chance to see our first interview or the American Ripper, tell us a little bit about the American Ripper.
You want to talk? Or you want me to talk?
The American Ripper. Awesome movie. It's a horror slasher film. Amazing. We worked on that movie for maybe a year during the COVID time when there was no possibility to get any crew. We made this movie, just me and my husband, Chuck. So it was the whole entire movie is made by two people. It's a slasher film, like I said, so blood is just dripping left and right. It's really awesome film, very entertaining in my opinion. It's been fun making it, but a lot of work as well. So we had to make sure that all our FX makeup is done right. So I was doing it myself. So when you see that movie, you will see like FX makeup is basically in each scene for the next half of the movie. But it was a hard work to do that too. So, but we had a blast, right? Making it.
Actually, Karolina won Best Actress in Tampa Bay for that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Grindhouse, Tampa Bay.
Thank you.
Best Featured Film, and also Phantasma, Orlando, Best Featured Film, and we won. I don't know how many awards. 10 different awards on it. So.
Yeah, we gathered together 10 awards. We won Best Music Score in Festival in LA. We won Best Feature Film twice in 2 different festivals, and also a lot of honorable mention awards. And we are very blessed and humbled by that. So we really appreciate the community liking our movie.
Friends and family were thinking, what were we thinking when we made that film?
Well, I want to ask, because you two are husband and wife in real life, but you also play husband and wife in the American Ripper. Holy shit, Chuck, you go hard in the fucking paint with torturing your wife in that movie. Like I was watching, I was like, holy crap, like that looks extreme. Like, what was going through your mind when you were doing this movie? I mean, the both of you, like, what was going on? Was there any point like, damn, I don't want to go too? Is this too far?
Well, it's normal for us. We do this every night.
No,
So we wanted to make it disturbing. We wanted to first, it was actually Karolina was going to be the American Ripper, and I said, "Do you want to play the part?" And she's like, "No, you play the part." So I said, "Well, great. I'm going to get my mindset into a kind of a Jack Nicholson kind of Shining kind of mode where I was just crazy sick, and I developed this kind of craziness as the movie goes on, and I get even more crazy and crazier. I gained more weight as the film happened. I was kind of a little bit slimmer in the beginning, and then as time went on, I was just transforming into this psychopathic, this monster,
His hair was like,
and we had a blast with it. I mean, we shot it, every weekend. We shot it, and we worked on it really hard, and we were getting up early in the morning, and we were shooting it all day, and we had a lot of time to play around with it, and so it just felt good, and it came out good. We did all the cinematography on it, and it just felt good.
We wanted to make it entertaining for the audience. So, like you asked the question, it was how we did it as a married couple. Well, we thought mostly how the audience is going to perceive the film and how to, establish the shot, where to put light on, and how to make the scene interesting. We were not even thinking, because it takes so many shots to make one scene. So we were not even thinking in category of that we are doing some crazy shit to each other. We were more like thinking technical, like thinking how to make it interesting and entertaining for the audience. And then somebody had to put it all together. So I did that. And I was the main editor on that film. And it came out good, I think. I think it came out good. So
we had to actually take out some of the stuff. It was just too brutal. They were calling it Triple X, and what was that, number 17 or something? Or
they didn't like
17.
some. Yeah, so there was like this scene with a knife, and basically some channels they don't allow like stabs, to show on the screen too much. So, which is all imagination because we just, we were like stabbing a pillow, but and they, so we had to like let it put it,
no, I was actually killed that guy in my house.
I mean,
buried in the backyard, actually thrown in the lake.
But Chuck, was there any point in during the filming, did you check in with Karolina and say, "Hey, honey, you good? You good?"
There was situations where we actually wanted to tie her. I wanted to tie her up, and I had, used a lot of computer cables that I had in the garage. So I said, "Hey, man, I've never seen a film where somebody's tied up with computer cables." So we took the computer cables and used them, and she was laying in that bed, I don't know, 10 hours every day, not every day, on the weekends.
On the weekend.
And she was starting to feel uncomfortable. And I said, well, that's great. Let's capture that on film. Let's make you feel uncomfortable. That's what we want, And she was freezing because I had the room freezing cold. So, so we were doing stuff that was just kind of weird. The whipping with the strap, the beating, with the baseball bat, and
then we had a fight scene together.
We had a fight scene, and she hit me in the eye.
Yeah.
Almost gave me a black eye with her kneecap.
So that was real, actually.
So almost injected myself. Almost injected myself with the rat poisoning too.
That's right.
So, but we had a good time. We kept trying to build on it and figure out, where we're going with this, and we were inspired by movies like Misery, The Shining, and other films that we've liked throughout the years, and we kind of put it in our vision, and that's kind of where it all came from,
Yeah.
I wrote that screenplay and just kept adding more and more to it, as we went along. But it was a pretty wild film, man. After we watched it, we're like, either our friends are going to love us or they're going to really, ditch us, thinking that we're crazy, man,
I watched it after our interview. I was like, I know that couple. I'm like, they're not that fucked up. Like, after watching the movie, I was like, holy shit. Like, if I didn't interview you guys before watching the movie, I'm like, well, damn, they're into some dark shit or something. Like,
it was a total film. It was really fucked up.
Yeah.
It was beyond fucked up film. I mean, it was a pretty sick film, and it kind of got us into this whole other area of horror, which we like horror. We like cryptic creatures. We like horror. We like different things. But we've been doing a lot of drama too, thrillers, which we like too. So.
Now,
so.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, but I was like, how amazing is it to be, husband and wife? You guys, you direct, you write, you act together. How amazing is it to have that person to bounce off of?
We breathe and eat this stuff 12 hours a day. I mean, we literally are thinking about what the audience would like, what audiences, when we go see films like Saw, or we go see horror films, what we can do to entertain the people out there, our fans, our friends, audiences, That movie's got a worldwide release, and we were excited to know that people all the way in Ireland were, saying it was one of the best films they've ever seen. So, because there are a lot of fans over there, independent film heads, and so we did a bunch of podcasts over there, and even in England and stuff. So we were excited about it,
Now, we're jumping. We're going to talk about you. You're actually working on another project coming in the future. That's not horror, But we're going to stick on American Ripper a little bit. Now, when you were making this movie, were you envisioning that there was going to possibly be a sequel, or were you making this in mindset this was going to be a standalone?
You know, it just felt good at the end when we did that drone shot of Karolina in the lake. We watched it over and over again, and we figured, wow, you know. And I was telling her, I said, everybody's probably going to wonder, you know, what happens to you, you know. So it's a perfect setup for her to be the American Ripper, you know.
Well, you gotta watch the movie because we don't want to say any spoilers. You gotta
Oh
guys
yes,
watch
yes,
it
that's right. Yes.
because because it might be a sequel, but you have to watch it to actually understand what Chuck is talking about. You know.
You know, we have England, UK has the Jack the Ripper, and we have the American Ripper. So so there could be a possible. We heard about people telling us, you know, from the distribution companies that definitely should be another film to that. So we'll have to
Well,
see.
let me tell you a little bit of the plot. You know, for those who never watched the film, because that's you know, if you want to rent and watch it, what is it about? So this is about a couple that's moving to the new house, and it's a married couple. And you know, I'm playing Lola, Chuck is playing Bobby. Chuck is playing an attorney, and I'm his wife. And we're just moving to the new house. And from there on, there's something about that house that there's something happened in the past. It's not like it's possessed or something, but there's something happened that it's not right. And Bobby, played by Chuck, is slowly transitioning through the movie to become a different persona or a split personality, you know, another character, being, you know, kind of like not possessed, but like disturbed by the aura or
Disturbed.
what happened in the house from the past. So he's becoming, you know, crazy and crazy,
Delusional and crazy
delusional,
and, you know, psychopathic and
psychopath. So
psychopathy.
he's indulging a different personality through the whole film. So there's a transition and change, and his wife, which is Lola, start slowly noticing his behavior, which is worse and worse, and she's worrying about him, what's going on. And eventually the whole hell breaks loose, and you know, I end up being tortured. So that's was that. This is a more psychological thriller. So you can feel like the first half of the movie, it's more like a thriller. The second half of the movie, it's more like a slasher, horror, torture kind of film. So it's right in the alley of those who like slasher and also those who like drama, because there's an element of drama in the movie.
I had to play that part. It was how to get into that mindset. So I was really kind of studying how Charles Manson was, and kind of Jeffrey Dahmer, and kind of you know, some of the other famous killers that got the electric chair or got, you know, put to death. Manson was kind of a favorite of mine because I was watching a lot of interviews of him and how he just didn't make sense, you know. You know, I think it right up here, you know.
So
you
yeah,
know,
he didn't.
he was crazy, you know, and we were thinking, okay, wow, you know, there's so much YouTube stuff of Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer, and then there's all these other serial killers. So we were kind of saying, all right, this is kind of how it should happen, you know.
Because what's the better example than just watching a real crazy is how they act and then portray it in a movie and become crazy yourself. So, you know, it was kind of authentic. And when you watch the film, you will see how, you know, the persona is transitioning slowly, but it's, you know, it's pretty good.
Ted Bundy was another one that was kind of interesting to see. So many interviews of him and how he was just so, you know, fucked up in his mind, you know. And so we kind of put this all together and put it in our own soup, you know, and it just came out our own way, you know, and from our influences of great movies, you know, and you know, just came out natural, I guess. And next thing we know, we had a film. So, and then Karolina put her magic to it, and we put it together. Yeah.
Music is cool too, guys. So
Yes.
if you wanna really like the music, you're like more audio person, and you like musical experience. That movie is great for that. You can just watch on Sunday evening. Have a
Sunday
pizza,
evening.
Yeah,
pizza
Sunday evening.
party.
Have some popcorn and
Carolina,
have some
Carolina.
sex with your wife afterwards.
This movie is pretty fucked up. I don't know what's going to.
Having
It
a
gets
pizza
pretty
party
fucked up.
with
It
your
really
friends,
does.
and it's just it's just, or maybe on a rainy day, it's a good movie.
I was doing stuff. I represent this device called Tonewood. It's a Tonewood a device that was made to put on an acoustic guitar, and get sweet sounds. And you have to make the guitar sound like a wah pedal. You can have it make it sound like a Hammond organ. So I started playing around with this thing. I said, every time we see other guys using it, I was promoting it for the owners of it. And I said, I'm going to use this thing differently. I'm just going to over distort it and over gain it. And it started to make the acoustic guitar sound like, ooh, it was making all these weird sounds and shit. So we went full blast on that. And Karolina would record me. And then I was just in my own head getting these sounds. And it just was pretty cool for the film. It made sense for the film. So that's all it started from. So
Now, you all were talking about distribution. A lot of indie horror filmmakers, or just any filmmakers in general, the biggest thing is getting a distributor. How to get your film out there. How to get them on Tubi, Amazon Prime. What were some things that you two done that made this process a little easier for you?
That's a good question, and Karolina was brilliant on that side of it. But we built this relationship up when we put our first movie out, Amityville, Mount Misery Road, and we shot that on a cell phone, and it just went viral after the distribution picked up, and it was actually sold out in Walmart stores all around America within 10 days. And it kind of jump-started a bug for the film industry. So we've met this guy, good friend of ours in Los Angeles. Now he's a good buddy of ours. We talk to him almost every day. And we were introduced to ITM Films, which is Stuart and Nico Icon. And they believed in us. And now they are considered one of the biggest distribution companies in the world for independent filmmakers. And they're growing and growing even more and more. And so distribution is very hard to get for independent filmmakers or anybody. And we've been told that, how did you get that deal? How could you even get distribution? There's so many filmmakers out there trying to get distribution. It was because of her tenacity of her calling and sending letters out to Hollywood and Los Angeles. And one guy, responded to us. And they were actually, when our first film was picked up, there was another person that was involved, and then they were literally fighting over the film. And we went with the right person. Our gut feeling was to go with this person, a good friend of ours, J.J. Rogers, which is part of Avail Entertainment. And one thing led to another.
Awesome. By the way, all the viewers who are watching right now, if you have any questions or comments for Chuck and Karolina, please leave them there, and we will put them up there for you. So please do so. All right. Listen, Chuck and Karolina, you guys are transitioning from horror to, you have a gangster movie that's coming out soon. That's in pre-production.
Well, remember, before we go there, Travis, we still have four other horror movies.
Holy shit! Okay.
We have
Let's talk about
them. Before we go with that, maybe we can say that last. But we do have a movie that we just submitted that will be coming out this year, probably for Halloween. We don't want to tell you too much about this one, but we shot it up in the Poconos, up in upstate New York, and we filmed that for a while. We filmed, I don't know how many scenes, 80 scenes in 10 days. It was an intense production.
It's a creature feature.
It's a creature feature. It's a bunny killer. This maniac killer is disturbing and terrorizing a community. So
it's about a rabbit.
It's about this reject rabbit I can't tell you too much, but
it's an awesome film.
It's an awesome film. Karolina plays the lead part in it, and I basically directed that whole film there. And I said, hey, I'm going to direct it as you kind of do your magic, and that's how that kind of led to the killer, the animal killer.
So we have another movie in post-production right now, which we also can't reveal too much, but we can tell you it's about cryptic creature legend of West Virginia, and we shot it in West Virginia, and that was a big production. It was really big production, totally different level than we shot the American Ripper, but it was amazing, and that's in post, and it's about a dog wolf like creature.
He's called the Snarly Owl.
Right,
it's a famous cryptic creature that haunts West Virginia Appalachian Mountains. It's been seen in South Mountain and during the Civil War. It's got a lot of history, right up there with Mothman in West Virginia. So we wanted to figure out where we could actually make this cryptic creature come alive. So we took it right to the hometown, and we filmed it right in Harper's Ferry.
So it's coming out this year. It's coming out soon too. So we're finishing post-production. So hopefully it's gonna come out very soon as well, just like Bunny. So we have like 2 creature features, and
well, there's another one too. But going back to Snarly, it was amazing to be able to film in a historical town that dates back before the Civil War. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about because you're up in that neck of the woods. It's considered one of the most beautiful places in America, but it has a lot of history. During the Civil War, it was taken over hands by almost back and forth from the rebels to the Yankees 80 times because it was a armory. It was where they made the guns, the rifles that they used for the Civil War. It's the famous story of John Brown that happened there, where John Brown was trying to get rid of slavery in America. So. But this creature, the Snarly Owl, has been basically haunting that area. You can actually Google it. So we are very thankful that all the counties there, Jefferson County, and some of the other counties, and even the local police got all involved with us on it.
Yeah, so. Everybody from that area got involved in our film. So that was really good production. But it's like I said, it's coming out this year, so pretty soon, maybe this Halloween, maybe in the end of the year. But it's coming along great, so we're very excited, and all our actors can't wait to see that film. So
there's a big buzz going on that right now because there's a lot of cryptic festivals, and they, the Snarly Owl is like considered second to Mothman. So we're excited. Once the film comes out, we're going to be blowing that up. Hopefully you can do another detailed interview with us then. But then we have this other film that we shot in Poland, which was great. And we finished that a few years back, and that's in post-production now. Karolina, I don't want to say too much about Karolina's part, but it's another disturbing film about a witch. So, and it's all because of our childhood witch stories and Hansel and Gretel and all these crazy things that happen with witches and around Halloween, and we made this thing come to life. So it's a very scary character. It's almost realistic too. I mean, like people believe that this witch still lives there. So
it sounds pretty exhausting. I mean, because you guys are pumping out like ideas and productions like that. Boom, boom, boom. How do you keep the ideas coming in? How do you keep things fresh?
I'm always thinking about what I can write next. I've got other movies in my head that I'm going to put out and we're going to do. That inspired us after we did the Snarly Owl film. I immediately got to write Killer Grannies, which Killer Grannies was a big hit here in Tampa, and everybody's waiting for that film too.
Yeah, so we have another film.
So drama. Killer Grannies was more based on a true story, and I just fell in love with it, and we put our own twist on it. And and as soon as Killer Grannies was done in August, I immediately got to write Extortion Thugs, because I always wanted to make a mafia film.
So it's like, to put it like in a different perspective, like I'm busy editing and I'm busy doing different things. And, Chuck has nothing to do and he's very
Nothing to do.
creative. When I'm like,
Thanks,
in the
Slacking
room
off, yeah.
editing, I'm looking, how editing process is. It's
Mhm.
hours,
It is.
sitting and thinking and creating things. So Chuck has like, okay, so what I'm gonna do today? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna write another screenplay. So he's just, taking the laptop and writing something, and then he have, oh, I have another screenplay. Let's make a movie. So there you go, and then we have movie after movie after movie. So that because he's so creative, he has to create too. So that's what it is.
And we work it as a team. So Karolina
Yeah.
is doing her magic, and then I'm in another room doing my magic, and then we put
Right.
our heads together. We go to lunch or we go to dinner, and we talk about how we're going to do these things. Actually, American Ripper came about. Was it the American? It was Snarly Yao came about over a Chinese dinner.
No, that was Bunny Killer.
No, it was actually it was the Bunny Killer.
That
Yeah,
was Bunny Killer.
but we actually have that recording. We recorded ourselves when we were talking about, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that, and we still have that original recording.
And
then,
funny thing,
and we made that film,
and the movie's already coming out this Halloween.
So the movie's coming out. So yeah, we're excited. Just over a Chinese meal, a Chinese dinner meal. Yeah. So, and she's right. I'm always thinking. It's like music. I'm a musician, so I'm always thinking about originality and how can I make this tension in this part of this movie. I'll use diminished chords. I'll use augmented chords to create, suspense, drama.
He's May birthday, so people born in May, they are very creative. Either they have to paint, create music, or create something. So that's why his brain is always thinking, either music. You're a painter too. He's a painter too, by the way. So he paints like beautiful paintings. So
I've got a
anything
lot of
creative,
cool hobbies, I guess. But I've dabbled with all my stuff all my life, either motorcycles or, either from sports, hockey, lacrosse, to
Coins,
coin collecting, to Greek coin collecting, to
digging
stamp
bullets,
collecting, to archaeology.
archaeology.
And
I
so
do
now
coin
this
collecting as well.
Yeah, coin collecting is
Yes.
great.
Yeah,
I
coin
love the
collecting.
history. I love these Greek coins that are thousands of years old. I have this love for this history of, who was banging these coins out handmade,
Yeah.
I remember there was a time that he was here, like for 6 months straight. He was looking at the stamps. Then his hobby changed to something else, and now we have a hobby of making movies. So this is like
That's me.
constantly
That's me.
evolving. Yeah, yeah, right. It's constantly doing something new, which is cool. Yeah.
So our game plan is to have 10 films within the next few years here. So 10 motion picture films. So we're excited to hit that goal. So
we also, for making films, you also have a chance to meet a lot of exciting people, either on the movie set or actors, and after a few days when you're on the movie set, they're literally becoming your family. Like you're spending all day long with those people, and they are your friends. They are, people. They're crying with you, laughing with you, going through a struggle with you, because movie sets are hard, and this is like a boot camp, like you're going to the military, and this is how it feels. So you're becoming best friends, and you have like friendships for forever with those people, and it's very interesting. I never experienced anything like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We realized that we meet all these actors, and the actors usually are producers or they're directors, and they want to show their talent, and they're coming from all over the United States. People come from California, they come from Alaska to be in our films. We had people coming, from Quebec, Montreal, upstate New York. Hey, we're coming from Florida.
A lot of different personalities. I can tell you that sometimes that can be a lot of drama as well on the movie sets.
Yeah.
But this is a part of creating a film. Like the crazy shit is going on the movie set, honestly, and it's sometimes it's unbelievable. But this is all fun, It's like a big party.
We actually had in Killer Grannies, when we shot in Tampa, we had hundreds of extras. They were coming out of the woodworks, and we had to dress them up as transients. We had to get them looking at like bums, for the film, and it was like over 100-degree weather, and it got so realistic that when we shot. And we had a permit to shoot this downtown Tampa on a famous historical street. that some of the people in the buildings were coming out thinking that they were being invaded by
Attacked by
bums.
bums.
You know, there was actually, what do they call those guys that come up and give
Taking it back.
condoms?
They gave one of our actors Narcan because they thought that he's the real blonde.
They were giving him condoms and
Narcan.
medicine
Narcan.
for AIDS and shit. And he's like, no, man, I'm you know, we're all actors, you know.
Yeah, so it was like we had to be there like at 4 a.m. in the morning and do makeup for those people with our 4 makeup stylists there and with a booth. We have a booth set up for 3 hours. I think we were doing makeup for 100 extras.
We had all these people we had great shots and photos of all of these actors that were transformed into hobos, you know, transients. And they looked real. I mean, really, really great. Sweat and just, you know, ripped shirts and, you know, taking water and pouring it on their underarms and sweaty, you know, looking like they were eating
amazing
out of
makeup.
garbage pails and stuff, you know.
That wouldn't happen without the help of our amazing art department. So we're very thankful for having Angela, having John, and other people on the movie
Lisa
sets.
there, we had, you know,
Lisa.
Lindsay helped us out, everybody. So
now our department was amazing on Killer Grannies, and so that as well on
as
on
the crew
Snow,
too. The crew was great
crew
too.
was
Our
great.
crew comes from Missouri, so and they're very dedicated to the cause. And then the next day we're in the largest courtroom in Tampa Bay. So we had again now a whole different set of extras that are in suits and ties, and you know, and it was amazing how we ran that crowd, you know, in there, all the attendees of the indictment, you know, and we had so many people telling us that it was the best production that they've ever been on. You know, they had a blast with us, you know. So we were honored to hear all of the comments and emails that we got from all the actors and producers and directors. So it was very exciting. Just like your girlfriend's going to be in one of our films. So
Yes.
I'm sure she's very excited about that, Shay.
Yes, and we're going to be talking about that soon.
Cool.
I do have one question for you. Is there a project, Chuck, that you passed it on to Caroline, and Caroline was like, "No, Chuck, this is not a good idea, or this is too far"?
Do you think I have anything to say? No.
I don't think she's ever turned me down.
No.
I think she's very optimistic about.
We are working as a team.
She's
Travis.
always like, "Hey, that's cool."
We are working as a team because I have a lot of my own ideas, you know, and I'm you know, pursuing my career as well, and he's always supporting me. And when he's doing something, you know, like creative and stuff, I'm always supporting him. So, you know, how long we're married, like 9 years, we're like, it's more important to support each other and just, you know, work as a team, because you know, you gotta work as a team. You gotta have a trust in each other. You can't be just like, I don't think this is, you know.
We do all day long. We talk about movies. I mean, we're literally together 12 hours a day. So, you know, she's in one room, I'm in the other room. Then I'll come to her room. She'll come to my room, and we'll just bounce ideas back off of each other. You know, and that's it's all about entertainment. It's all about how we can amuse the public and the fans, and you know, and how excited this is gonna be great. The public's gonna love this, you know. And we like to act in our own films too. So just like Moon Zombie and Rob Zombie, they do their films, you know. We like that, and kind of we want to be in that genre too, you know, doing our own thing, you know, as a husband and wife team outlet, you know. So and we also encourage friends of ours to get in our films. You know, we've made people that have no acting experience. We said, hey, you know, you got the great look. You have this really great look, and I'd like to put you in this spot. Like, oh no, I can't do it. I said, well, just try it, you know. And then they try it, and we work with them. We block them, and we work with them for a few months, and then we shoot them in the scene. And next thing you know, 2 years later, now they're in 3, 4, 5 different movies, just from me approaching them. You know. So you know, when you showed me your girlfriend there, I said, hey, I'd like to talk to her. You know.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely trying to break into the horror industry. Now, speaking of which, the Extortion Thug, which is a mafia movie. So you're going from horror to making mafia gangster movies. What was that like? I mean, what was? I mean, right now you're in pre-production, but what is that like to transition from one genre to another?
Well, I think you know, studying, you know, just like I'm studying Hendrix or Clapton or Jeff Beck or, you know, my famous guitar players that I grew up with. I used to destroy albums and try to listen to them on a, you know, an album, not a CD, but an album, you know. It's the same thing with my mentors like Stanley Kubrick or, you know, Martin Scorsese or you know, Oliver Stone or Quentin Tarantino or Francis Ford Coppola. So again, I grew up watching, from being from Long Island, The Godfather 1, 2, and 3. I saw all these films that people see, you know, from Goodfellas to Sopranos to Casino to Reservoir Dogs to, you know, all these famous films that I think are cool. And I said, hey, I want to make a mafia film. Plus, my mother's father was in the mafia. So I knew about...
Your uncle's Charles Atlas, too.
Yeah, my uncle's Charles Atlas, the bodybuilder, too.
Really?
Yeah, so when I took Karolina to see my uncle, where he's buried in St. John's Cemetery over in Queens, New York, right around the corner is John Gotti. Right around the corner from John Gotti is Anastasia and Carlo Gambino. And right in front of the mausoleum is Lucky Luciani, you know, so they're all buried there.
With your uncle.
Around my uncle.
Around.
So we both are fans of mafia films. We do like...
It's classic.
Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro. We do like all the famous paisanos, you know, Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and I said
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta, you know, all just the whole gamma of these great, you know, artists that have made these films. And I said, one day I want to do that, you know. And
you have Italian background.
Plus, I have an Italian background, because I grew up in Long Island, and we always kind of was hush hush about the mafia. We knew about it, you know, or we knew about La Cosa Nostra or Oath of Omerta, and you know how to get sworn in and stuff like that. So we wanted to make this film of taking a little bit of our vision on all the films that me and Karolina love in the mafia. That, you know, the famous films, but we wanted to make it a step up that had showed what the mafia really is about, you know, a little bit, and how they show where you don't really see it in Godfather 1, or you don't see it in too much of Goodfellas or Casino, where there was a little bit more when somebody's getting shot in the head, you know, you see it, you know what I'm saying? A little bit
more realistic.
More realistic. And some of the things that I heard about how they get tortured and stuff and different things. Extortion Thugs is about extortion, you know. It's racketeering, you know. It's prostitution. It's drugs and loan sharking, you know, kidnapping, money laundering, you know. So it has it all under that title, you know.
It's all, you know, packed with action and drama, and there's a bit of romance going on too. So it's cool. It's not going to be a horror. It's not going to be a thriller. It's going to be a crime mob movie. Yeah.
It's going to be disturbing though.
Yeah.
It's going to be disturbing.
I love those kind of movies. Listen, I love, you know, the mobster movies. I love Donnie Brasco. I love, you know, Casino. Now, one of the things I have a question, you know, by being an indie filmmaker, is it going to be tough to do a period piece? You know, because you got to have the looks, the cars. Is that something that's going to be tough for you?
Well, that's a good question. But you have The Godfather. You know, they filmed it back in the 1940s. You know, or the early 50s. You had Casino that was filmed late 70s, early 80s. You know, kind of that atmosphere. Goodfellas, the same kind of thing. You know, this movie, we didn't want to make it as another Gotti film with John Travolta or Armando Assante. You know, we wanted to make it a modern mafia film. We wanted to make it that it's still out there happening. You know, that it's still present. You know, so it is.
It's fictional. It's not really.
It's fictional. It's not factional, but it is fictional. But it is a modern, to answer your question, it is a modern 2026, 2027, 20, are living today,
But it's going to have a feel of a crime mob movie. So it's not like, modern style, but it's still going to have that feel of old
It's
movie.
going to have roots of Lucky Luciani. I mean, Lucky Luciani started the whole La Cosa Nostra, 1920s, and so it has a bit of all of that, all put into a ball of wax into one. And literally, we started casting maybe 3 weeks ago, and literally the first day we cast, we had thousands and thousands of actors from all over pounding us with emails. I want to be in this film. They have that same love, Travis, as we love it, and like you love it. And so there is a buzz about crime film, mafia films, anything to do with FBI or indictments of La Cosa Nostra, Paulie Castellano. I mean, look at The Sopranos. It was a huge hit, So we even have guys from The Sopranos wanting to be in the film. So
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So we got a lot of exciting stuff going on with that film. So
this is definitely going to be a big production from what I see. This is
it's going to be right up there with Snarly, Bunny, and Killer Grannies. So it's
a little bit more characters though.
Yeah, we have like 90 characters in the film.
Yeah.
Looking at the casting thing, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of cast in this movie.
Yeah. Because we put it out there just for people to scroll down, have an opportunity to see if they would be fitting for the role, if they can figure out, because a lot of parts are non-speaking parts, but we still put it out there so people can have a choice to see if they would be fitting the right role.
Everybody wants a speaking part. We all know that everybody as actors want their speaking part, but in this movie it seems like if they can't get a speaking part, they're like, wherever you want to put us. We just want to be on the production set. We want to be involved with this film. Another great film I like is Irishman, which I thought was a great film. We just saw Robert De Niro's last film he just made, Aldo Nights. And we thought it was good because it's based on a true story with Costello, and so we thought that was good. It didn't get a lot of great reviews, but still, their vision. Barry, what's his name? The director there, Barry Levinson. That was his vision on it, and so I get it, and so I can't wait to put my vision on it. And we've already have the screenplay; it's already been met. We already got actors. We're being very picky on who we want in the film. We want it to be very memorable, just
like usual. We're always very picky.
I mean, if you think about Casino, you got Sharon Stone, beautiful woman. Every character in that film is attractive looking. Even you got Don Rickles in there playing what's his name is one of the guys, the manager of the casino. Joe Pesci's cool, and then the women are very glamorous and alluring and beautiful. So we want that in this kind of film too. The mafia was always hanging around beautiful people.
They 100% were. All right, got a comment in from AJ Milan. Great couple to work with. Hello from West Virginia.
Hey, AJ.
AJ is great. We had a blast working with AJ. AJ, thank you, AJ, for writing. AJ was, I was looking for an actor that could be a drunk at a bar. And I can tell you, AJ is a great actor. And
he nailed it.
We went through hundreds of people trying to act drunk, and we could not find them. And then AJ we were blessed to have AJ come to us.
He really did a good job acting as a, it's very hard to act as a drunk when you're not. And he did so, realistic. So it's a great scene.
There's a great story between him and the bartender. We don't want to tell you too much. Yeah. But
a movie story.
Yeah, it's a love affair. No. But he did a great job. And we were very impressed with his acting. And we're glad and proud to have him part of our film. So,
love it. Listen, by the way, I want to say a quick shout out to two individuals. First, Michael Joy at Marketing Macabre. I mean, great guy. You can line this interview up. If you're an indie creator, I don't care if you're a filmmaker, actor, author, definitely hit up Marketing Macabre. They're our marketing guys, so here at the Hard Round. So
yeah, Mike's a good guy, and his last name tells you all about it. He has a joy for doing what he does. And I was introduced to Mike a while back, and we like working with Mike. And when he met and said that, hey, he works with Travis, I said, we already know Travis, you know. And so we already did an interview with him before. Last time we did an interview with you, you didn't have a beard on, so
clean shaves.
We should have put you in Killer Grannies, my friend.
Yeah, perfect at it. I want to say a shout out to Matt Burns. Matt Burns is a great producer up in this area, and he actually sent me the casting call and to reach out to you guys. So definitely, as well.
We're we like to work with the film commissions too. We're like guests to their state. So this, like I was telling you, the Snarly Owls, they're just open arms for us now because that is one of their mascots, you know. So of the state, kind of, you know, and everybody loves the story of that. So we're excited to see what's going to happen with Snarly, and then we're going to just go down the list, and then we're going to be pumping out more and more films. So, and that's kind of where it's going. We're having a blast. We're having a lot of fun, and whoever wants to come along for the ride, just write to us. Write to 3ratsentertainment@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, 3 Rats Entertainment, Facebook page as well. Or you just write to our Gmail, 3ratsentertainment@gmail.com. And you can actually, if you want to see our movies, you can go to Google and just Google The American Ripper, the green poster, Amityville Mount Misery Road, the purple white poster, and there's new film Bunny Killer coming out this year. We can't reveal the poster and we can't reveal more, but it's going to be coming this Halloween, probably also to all the Walmart stores as a hard copy, so you can get yours. But we can't say too much about it. We'll see. So this is just like assumption right now.
Well, I'm happy guys back on to talk about that in the fall.
Definitely. And hopefully we can get you to play a part in a new film. Maybe you come up with your girlfriend to Long Island.
I'm gonna be there. So if you got a part for me,
I'm gonna have you at the bar snorting cocaine or something.
I can fucking do that, man. I never done coke in real life, but I can fucking do that.
You'll be getting thrown out by the bouncer.
That's it. Yeah.
I can do the cocaine shit. If you need me to be a pimp or whatever, I'm your man. I'm down for whatever.
Be a pimp.
No, remember, this is a mafia film, so this is a crime film about thugs.
You said prostitutes. You were saying prostitutes. I was like, okay, well, somebody has to manage the prostitutes.
I will submit to you, these guys are ruthless. They're ruthless men. You don't want to screw around with these guys.
Listen, get over and please follow 3 Rats Entertainment. Get over to Amazon and Tubi. Check out The American Ripper. Great movie. Listen, not for the faint of heart. It gets pretty fucking extreme. So, but warning.
It definitely not that polite as we are appearing right now. It's
no, not at all. Not at all. Like, are those the same fucking people?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna see you guys in September. In New York. So, and listen.
No, it's November and December. November and December.
Oh, it's November. Okay, I will see you in November, December. It's gonna be fucking
cold. We wanted to shoot it where it was gloomy and cold and kind of.
It's
cinema. Yeah, it's different feel. So, or we enjoyed talking to you. So, any other questions for us, or?
No, I think we're good. I mean, this was fun. I mean, we covered a lot in this.
That's
great.
We covered a lot. And
that's great.
All right. So listen, everybody, please follow them and also hit that like and subscribe button and share this out too. It definitely helps us out here at the Horror Realm. All right. It's been another great edition of the Horror Realm Live. I don't do these as much as I used to, but I'm gonna start doing them.
Yeah, we had fun with you.
They're fun.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you rock.
Yeah, so, Travis.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce. And that is Chuck and Carolina. We'll see you next time.
Morrongiello.
Good seeing everybody.
See you.
Have a great night tonight.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh.